when we look at culture in general, and we say FNMI, in this territory we have Blackfoot people who live here. And we really want to be teaching mostly that content to start with, so we understand and appreciate the territory that we live in. But First Nations, Métis, and Inuit, there's several different cultures within that. So there isn't just one culture that we have to address or one historical perspective. And so what this will do is hopefully provide us with several different perspectives of FNMI cultures.
It's one of our priorities as a school division, equitable outcomes for all First Nations, Métis, and Inuit students. So what Alberta Ed announced the other day again is a good support for what we're already doing.
Elementary schools across the country have taught Indigenous studies for years as part of social studies. With the Truth and Reconciliation movement sweeping across Canada, the province has decided to make some changes. Alberta Education is developing in-depth FMNI resources so teachers can incorporate true history into all their teaching specialties.
There's tremendous teaching that can happen in art or through music or through science and language arts. So it's something that can be embedded in many different disciplines.
Asquith says that the teachers have expressed their lack of confidence in teaching these lessons. Lethbridge District 51 has hired professionals to support their schools in this transition.
There is a lot of support that we still have to provide as a system around really building that confidence in teachers and building that capacity so that they will feel that they can really show purpose.
I remember my first year of university sitting through classes with my heart in my stomach, learning about the First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people and the history of residential schools in Canada for the first time after living in this country for 19 years.
When I went to high school, there was one page that mentioned residential schools in our social studies textbook, but otherwise there was absolutely nothing. And for most people, there was no information. Residential schools is just something that has come out maybe in the last, 10 years or so.
First Nations, Métis, and Inuit education is not the only thing changing. Alberta schools will also see a changing sexual education curriculum in the next few years.
I mean, what we're looking at from an Alberta perspective, not just a Catholic perspective, is what are we teaching kids to live a very healthy and good lifestyle?
Catholic school districts in Alberta are standing firm to Catholic values as sexual education changes, committing to incorporating their values into the content being taught, which may differ from their new mainstream teachings. The superintendent of Holy Spirit Catholic School Board acknowledges it's time for a change.
Our arts curriculum, I think, is over 30 years old, right? So it takes a significant amount of work. Certainly, you're not doing just standalone curriculums anymore. You've got to make sure that there's cross-curricular outcomes that are done.
Changes in curriculum content will continue to develop and roll out in the next few years. For Bridge City News, I'm Josie Foster.